Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Bangladeshi counterpart Sheikh Hasina will be holding an official meeting in New Delhi on Saturday. Post the meeting, India and Bangladesh are expected to sign several memoranda of understanding. Bangladesh Prime Minister is scheduled to have a private meeting with President of India Rashtrapati Murmu. She is also expected to call on Vice President of India Jagdeep Dhankar. The Bangladeshi Prime Minister was accorded a ceremonial reception at Rashtrapati Bhavan in the national capital on Saturday morning. The Bangladesh Prime Minister was received by Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The ceremonial reception will be followed by a bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Hyderabad House, where the two leaders are likely to sign several memoranda of understanding in the areas of mutual interest. Bangladesh Prime Minister also visited Rajghat and paid floral tributes to Father of the Nation, Mahatma Gandhi. All right, DD India's Naval Singh Parmar joins us from Dhaka. Naval Singh, we've just told our viewers about the engagements of Bangladeshi Prime Minister in India, and in a short while from now, she will be holding official talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Let us get more from you as per what are the expectations from the visit, how significant is this visit, and what are the different areas and sectors that are expected to be taken up on the agenda.
Yes, India and Bangladesh have a special kind of relationship, and both the country are having a very long border and multifaceted relation. And this bilateral bit, it was due in last month, but due to election, it was postponed, and now it is happening. So there are many dimensions in the India-Bangladesh relation, and the major one is the sub-regional connectivity. In that, India-Bangladesh, Bhutan, or India-Bangladesh-Nepal connectivity, mainly the rail connectivity will be there in a discussion. Second thing, trade and commerce, trade and investment. So, India and Bangladesh are largest trade partner in the South Asian region. And for India, Bangladesh is the largest developmental partner in the South Asia or in the world. So, there will be a discussion related to trade as well as the private investment. Yesterday evening, when Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar called on the Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at her residence, there were Indian CIA CEOs and the businessmen were also there. So at that time, Bangladesh Prime Minister invited Indian businessmen to come and invest in Bangladesh. And there are plenty of opportunity for Indian business houses to have a business as well as the investment in the Bangladesh. Second thing, there is a travel agreement which was revised in 2018. And it was for 5 years. And last year, its validity were expired, but it was good extension. But this year or this time, in this discussion and this meeting, it is very likely that the revised travel agreement will be there, and there will be some modification also. Because in Bangladesh, Indian visa is very important for medical and tourism purpose, and there is a huge demand for Indian visa, and there are some bottleneck in the visa mechanism. So both the sides will discuss the issue, and it will get the priority as people are in local media are expecting here. And second thing, there is there are common rivers between India and Bangladesh, Ganga and Brahmaputra and Tista. So common river, water resource management related and water resource sharing kind of discussion will also be there. And in 1996, there were a Ganga water sharing agreement. That agreement also expired, and it is supposed to renew this time. And another agreement related to or some MOU related to Tista waters and the other water resource or common rivers may also come into the discussion between the two prime minister and subsequent the bilateral, full-fledged
All right.
bilateral
All right, Naval
delegation
Singh, that
level
was an
meeting.
extensive account of the expectations from the visit. But then when we talk of this visit, now Bangladesh Prime Minister also visited India when she attended the swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Added to that, this is the first official incoming state visit by a foreign leader to India after the new government has assumed office. And within a span of, say, 12 days, it is not very common for a foreign leader to visit a country twice. Having said that, what kind of light does this throw on the relationship between the two countries? Because India also time and again has talked of its close proximity and its close relations with Bangladesh, and that has been reciprocated by Bangladesh as well. So let us get more from you as to, what does this visit signify?
Yes, in India's policy is the neighborhood first policy,
Yes.
and to give impetus to the neighborhood first policy, India and Bangladesh want to deepen and strengthen the bilateral relation, which is very multifaceted relation, and there is a close proximity as well as there are plenty of opportunity between these two countries, not just the two countries, but the sub-regional opportunity, like for opportunity for Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, India, and particularly the northeastern part of India. So with the connectivity, like rail linkage, there were 7 rail link post independence between Bangladesh, East Bengal, and the India. There are 5 links already restored, and there are plans to restore the all the 7 links, as well as there is one more link between Akura and Agartala railway line, which will help India to have reduce the travel time from Calcutta to Agartala from 31 hours to 10 hours. So there are plenty of opportunity in this area, and both country and both the leaders, both the Prime Minister Modi and the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina are very much willing to defend and strengthen the bilateral relation, and which will help to regional prosperity and regional connectivity and the regional trade and investment. So it will be helpful for the entire region. India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, particularly northeastern India. So this is the very important meeting, and that shows that this is the first bilateral state visit after the swearing-in ceremony of NDA-led Prime Minister Narendra Modi's third government.
All right, Naval Singh, thank you so much for joining us with those details from Dhaka. And from here, DD India's Munmun Bhattacharya joins us from Hyderabad House in the national capital. Munmun, we believe in a short while from now, the official discussions between the two leaders will begin. Just a while back, Naval Singh Parmar was evaluating the relationship for us, and he talked of how connectivity is an important aspect in the bilateral relations. You spell out more details. What is it on the agenda of the talks between the two prime ministers today?
Yes, Preeti, to begin with, let me say that this is the first lateral state visit of a foreign head of government in India, and the Modi 3.0 government. We are aware that at the ceremony of PM in the Council of Ministers on the 9th of June, Sheikh Hasina was here. So she's back in a span of within 15 days, which is extremely significant. The timing is also noteworthy because Prime Minister Hasina is to go to China in July. So this shows the strategic importance that Bangladesh gives to India. Also, the fact that he was invited for the swearing-in ceremony shows the kind of importance that India accords to neighborhood first, to Sagar, which is security and growth for all in the region, a doctrine India supports, and India's Act East policy. Now, coming on the issues on the agenda, Tista River water management issue is a long-pending issue. It's a long-standing issue between the two countries. Discussions to take place on that. Just to give you a brief background on this is a river dispute that has been lingering. The two countries did come close to signing an agreement in 2011, but there was opposition from the West Bengal government, and so the agreement could not happen. Now, the Tista agreement has been hanging fire since then. An interim deal was reached for 15 years that gave India around 42% and Bangladesh 37% of the waters of Tista. That's Muslim and Bengal for Bangladesh. Now, what has happened, Preeti, in recent years is that China has offered Bangladesh to expand the river on its side by carrying out dredging work. And earlier, Bangladesh had sought a loan of around $983 million from China for the Teesta River. So now India has made a counter offer, and Sheikh Hasina did tell Bangladesh's parliament on 15th June that a government will study the feasibility of both the offers. Interestingly, she also said that China's proposal lacks clarity on issues such as land development and water navigation. Besides that, they may focus on the river Ganga because there was the Ganga River water sharing agreement that is set to expire in 2026 in another 2 years. So far, they're looking to renew it. Then discussions to take place on a new mechanism to reduce border killing. Besides that, a lot of focus on connectivity and power because further discussions are expected to finalize the inauguration the Feni Moitri Bridge for public transport. Also, commissioning of the second unit of Rampal Moitri power plant. So, essentially, important visit in terms of connectivity and energy as well. And by September this year, we expect passenger movement to begin on Maitri Setu, which is a bridge connecting India and Bangladesh in South Tripura district. Besides that, there could be a discussion on speedy implementation of $500 million line of credit on defense that India has given, and looking at the potential of joint military exercises as well. Also, India would want greater role in the Mongla Sea port in Bangladesh, which is similar to involvement in the Chabahar port in Iran. And so, these are the focus areas or the issue on the agenda. And the issue of trade particularly was picked up in that meeting that Sheikh Hasina had with Dr. Jaishankar, India's External Affairs Minister, where Dr. Jaishankar spoke of how India would want a new chapter in trade to begin. Here I would want to draw your attention to how in 2022, SEPA, which is a comprehensive economic partnership agreement, for that a joint feasibility study was concluded. And Dr. Jaishankar also spoke about how India would want greater focus on logistics, connectivity, and energy particularly, whereas Sheikh Hasina, Bangladesh's Prime Minister, spoke on how she would want more consultation mechanisms, a more sustained dialogue and issues that are important to be addressed to strengthen the economic partnership.
All right, Munmun, that was about what all is to be taken up when the two leaders sit for talks today. But then we've seen the diplomatic relations between the two countries began in 1971, and to this day, when both the countries are talking of how the relationship has strengthened, let us get more from you as to how has the relationship evolved over these years, how strong and multifaceted ties are India-Bangladesh?
Yes.
Between India and Bangladesh,
yes. Yes, so both countries share bonds of history, culture and language. So ties, in a sense, we can say that they go beyond a strategic partnership. There is bonhomie in the relationship. India had established the diplomatic ties with Bangladesh immediately after Bangladesh got independence in 1971. And we had also helped Bangladesh in getting independence. So our ties really date back several decades. Having said that, it's a very strong strategic partnership because the headline agreement, I would say, was in 2015 when a land boundary agreement, if you recall, was signed between the two countries in 2015.
Yes.
And under that agreement, India facilitated transfer of 111 enclaves that adds up to around 17,000 acres plus to Bangladesh. And India got in exchange 51 enclaves, adding up to 7,000 acres plus. Now, this was again a long pending issue which was finally thrashed out in the form of an agreement, and the exchange of enclaves happened. Also, Bangladesh is India's largest development partner. Nearly 1/4, that is around 25%, of India's commitment under the line of credit is directed towards Bangladesh. And in the last 8 years, India has given 3 lines of credit of around $8 billion in various infrastructure projects like roadways, railways, ports, shipping, etc. So in terms of development partnership, this is the strongest that India has with any country. As far as the bilateral trade is concerned, then that is around $16 billion. These are the latest figures of 2022-23. India is Bangladesh's biggest export destination in Asia. So there is a lot of focus, like we've been saying, on further strengthening the trade partnership. A SEPA joint feasibility study has already taken place, and that means that India and Bangladesh would want either no or very low customs duties. Now, besides that, if we look at the other aspects of the relationship, then security ties, if we see, then India shares its longest land boundary with Bangladesh of over 4,000 kilometers. If you look at energy ties, then Bangladesh imports around 1,200 megawatts of power from India. Very importantly, there was an India-Bangladesh friendship pipeline for carrying high-speed diesel that was jointly inaugurated by the two prime ministers via video conferencing in March. So that is one. And then India is also engaged in offshore oil exploration there as far as connectivity and infrastructure is concerned.
All right. So important.
Yes.
Yes, important, significant relationship is shared between the two countries. Thank you so much, Munmun, for joining us. As of now, we'll come back to you again once the talks